All right, and we're back with another episode of The Mix Behind the Mic, here with DG, Dave Gordon of Accent Event Group. Dave.
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. We're excited to talk all things weddings, some tips, some, things from your POV, if you will.
Okay.
And, first, tell us a little about yourself, how you got into business and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I'm 24 years old.
Baby.
I've been a baby. Everyone tells me that nonstop, and I've been getting it. When does baby end? What age am I not the baby anymore?
It's been
years.
I started at 21.
Okay.
We're going into year 20 in 6 months, and I wish I was still called the baby and not. I'm now Unc to most of you guys. So,
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm still baby. I have been the baby since 15 years old. I started doing parties at 15. I started DJing, playing around at home at 13. But then like my friends' Sweet 16s were coming up and stuff in school, and they kind of knew that I was
dabbling,
posting some mixes on SoundCloud. Just
stop. Wait a second. Do you know what a Discman is?
I do. I know music
Stop.
history. Okay.
I'm 16.
Yep.
The first thing I ever did was DJ Sweet 16 with 2 Discmen and a mixer.
Wow.
But that's all I am.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. How are your transitions over there? They're pretty good,
It
right?
was terrible. It was
They were
absolutely
amazing.
terrible. Yeah.
Started doing parties at 15, and I really, for years and years, it's just like I kept falling into it. I fell into it. I'm stumbling, and it's growing, and it's doing good, and I did still go to college. I do have a degree. I went to Drexel in Philly, which I loved. All was great there. But I have been getting some great opportunities. I mean, I'm on a podcast set right now. It's insane. So thank you.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. I've been getting great opportunities, and this is my full-time thing now.
Love it. Which I've been definitely telling you to pursue for at
He
least a year.
For the record, while I was finishing college and about to apply to cybersecurity jobs, Harry was there saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to. You love what you're doing, and the money is actually here,
And
not there.
respectfully, take this as a compliment. When we said we were doing the pod and who we were having on as guest, respectfully, I never thought I'm having a 24-year-old in the business on because, the obvious.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're doing a lot of things. You are doing a ton of events, let alone weddings. And, you're just in the business enough to hop on and talk about this stuff. So excited to have you here.
And I don't consider myself, and I know you as well, don't consider competition. Like, yes, I'm in a different DJ company, but we all help each other. We all do events for each other. And most importantly, like, even with all my social media, I am giving back content, tips, tricks, advice. We talk all the time about everything. So I don't gatekeep. I'm here to give all my knowledge and gain.
I wish I knew that more in my early 20s because, like I said, I think it was till early 30s till I realized that there's a million events, there's a million weddings out there, and there's enough for all of us that we don't have to be so greedy or cutthroat in the business, if you will.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So today at 24 and not 16 doing Sweet 16s,
right.
You're dabbling all over the place, but as far as what you're doing today in the wedding world, would you say that your weddings that you're booking are demographic wise all over the place? Or would you say that you're more in, the millennials more than, second marriages at late 40s, early 50s, or a little bit of everything?
That's a good question. I feel like it's changed over the short few years that I've been doing weddings. I did get a lot of those second marriages and older couples. And I think it was probably just because of budget reasons. I was the cheaper DJ, of course. And these people already had their first wedding. They went all out and whatever. Right. So now they're on their second wedding. They just want to do a more chill party. But I've been getting more and more younger weddings recently, which is exactly where I want to be, right? Like I can thrive in those younger age ranges. Sometimes they have the higher budgets there. Sometimes they don't. It depends.
You're praying that their parents are paying for it.
Well,
still,
yeah,
kinda?
You kind of hope their parents are paying for it. But if you're getting into planning your wedding, you should have expectations of money. And it's like, Honestly, I obviously haven't planned my own wedding yet. I feel like I know a lot, but I don't know anything
As
about
far as the
like
actual budgets and
budgets,
what the
venue
all-in numbers
booking,
are,
catering.
what a
Like
plate
I know
costs.
my realm. I know
Right.
it very well, and I know everything kind of surrounding it. But there's so much more too, and it's not cheap.
I don't think, you're in the business and you say that like you know enough and whatnot, but there's still so much you don't know. This is why we're doing this today, because I think so many brides, especially that have never been married before, have no clue on what they're getting into or what an actual DJ budget is for a wedding, because
Yeah.
I'm in all these Facebook groups and whatnot, and so many of them make a post. First off, this is like so off topic, but something that like grinds my gears is I'm looking for an affordable wedding DJ. Well, what does that mean?
Yep.
Because you could spend $500 or $7,000 on a DJ for your wedding, and obviously there's going to be a big factor difference of what you're getting for what you're spending. But I just think so many people get into weddings, or they get engaged, they're excited, they start planning, and they are so sticker shocked on the pricing of things, not only on the venue, but all the vendors, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I want to bring up budget-wise. What is the order of events that you should be booking your vendors? What is the order of priority? Should you be spending all of your money on the flowers and putting your DJ at the bottom of the list, which happens over and over and over?
It's came up on another pod that we just did too, where I hate that I don't want to talk shit on the vendors that I'm friends with in the business that do flowers, but like flowers is something is at the top of my list of when you're like cutting back or finding budgets for other things that are important. Am I biased that after you book the venue that the entertainment, whether you're doing a band or a DJ, should be at the top of your list, and
really
like
should.
that should be a higher thing for your budget? Now, we offer photo and video, and they're very important aspects as well, and not to take anything away from the photographers or videographers, but like respectfully again, I don't think the photographer or videographer are ever making or breaking your wedding like
Correct.
the DJ or band is. So, and again, going back to what photographers cost, that number is, 1,000 to 10,000, if you will. So it's just like what makes sense for each couple. And we understand people have budgets. We offer 15 services, for example. So like, does it make sense to go with package A that's basic, but they want all these add-ons? I mean, that works for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I try to stress to people, like whether you're booking us or not, and I have these in consults, like the entertainment should definitely be such a priority in this conversation when you're writing down budgets, because I think people literally take a piece of paper out and they're like, all right, we're just going to start writing it down. DJ, photo, video. Okay, we're going to spend 1,000 on the DJ. Well, that's the first mistake. And I feel like so many people that have no idea about the business, write that number down and are completely blown away when they realize that they're so off on what the, typical, what's the word I'm looking for? Reputable DJ.
You
or
can find a DJ for $1,000.
100% you can.
can.
But again, and this is what I tell people
wish you
too.
luck.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of them things where it's like, Keith, our behind the scenes guy today, can you look this up for me real quick? What is the average price for a wedding in Pennsylvania in 2025?
Total price?
Yeah, it's probably going to be 40K, we'll say. Like, and again, like we do weddings that are 20K or 100K. Like, it's all over the place. But it's one of them things where we'll say 40K. You're going to spend $40,000 on a wedding, and you're going to spend $1,000 on a DJ, and that $1,000 is going to predict your entire, what's the word I'm looking for? Your entire outcome. That was the word I'm looking for. Your whole outcome on that, and it's just like when you really lay it down like that, like that's the difference, and that's where.
And how much of the outcome is coming from the flowers or the centerpieces?
Centerpiece is another one. Like seriously, like
I have an answer for you.
yeah, sure.
So the average cost of a wedding in 2024 statewide, they're saying is according to the wedding report is $35,000.
35,000. I still think that's a little low.
It's a little low.
I think 45, 50 is probably the sweet spot on most, at least that, we see in this market, if you will. And again, you're looking at Pennsylvania. That's also including like in the sticks in the middle of the state, et cetera, too.
Right.
So,
So you got those.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
so again,
Right, the average
40,
comes down.
50, we'll say. And, when you realize, I wish I was better at the math to know, like, 50K and, 1,200, 1,400, whatever on these DJs, like the percent of what their budget is for the outcome you get, it's mind boggling. And it's something I try to talk about from the jump in these consults, just to stress every single person that I have a consult with, by the time I talk to them, have already had someone tell them the DJ makes or breaks everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they already have heard that by 5 different people. So I don't even have to say that.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of them things where it's such a hot topic, or it should be. And this is why, again, we're doing this, because I follow a lot of podcasts. I'm in all these group chats on Facebook for brides. And it's one of them things, where I'm just like, how is this something not talked about more?
So this probably makes a little bit more sense. Average cost in Philadelphia, 2025 estimates 46 to about 58.
There you
So
go.
That's probably what you're thinking. More
that's pretty accurate. So you're spending $58,000 of it, and every one of your friends and family have told you that the DJ makes or breaks every wedding, and you're putting such a small percentage of your budget into the entertainment, which could be the biggest factor of your whole success of your day. Just kind of mind-boggling.
It's just putting the priorities in order. Like if you take that full, let's say it's 50K, you need to now put in order what your priorities are, and that should dictate the budget. Like venue, of course, is first.
Sure.
Food is first. Photo and video is its own thing. That's like for the couple, and that should have, I would say, a decent budget.
Sure.
Like that is very important. But then if we're talking about the nitty gritty of what is happening in the venue at that time, the DJ is just next. What else? What am I missing?
Here's a perfect example, and this is something that is just, again, off topic, but, we offer a ton of services. I just recently started switching my pitch a little bit, because we offer photo booths and cold sparks and uplighting and monograms and Mr. and Mrs. signs. So, for a few things. But, like, I tell people up front all the time now, if it's me getting married and I'm giving you my honest suggestion, and sometimes I tell people, like, I'm being a bad salesman here, like, and everyone has a budget, and I get that. And I'm never getting a photo booth ever before cold sparks and uplights. Like, it's not even close. And I tell people, like, don't get me wrong, I want you to get all three. But, like, if we're talking a budget and we're working numbers, like, don't even think about getting a photo booth until you already have uplights and cold sparks.
People
because
are going to remember that dance floor.
right, like,
That packed
and
dance floor. With
something
sparks.
something I tell people often, again in the consult, is how many weddings you've been to? 7. Okay, cool. 20 years from now, if I have you write on a piece of paper all 7 weddings you've been to in your lifetime at this point, 20 years from now, you will still vividly remember if the wedding was awesome or the wedding sucked. And it's that cut and dry.
Yeah, yeah.
And they are never remembering the photo booth, but they might remember that vibe on the dance floor with the cold sparks and the high energy, et cetera, et cetera. And I just, again, don't think it's talked about enough. And that's why we're here today.
Agreed. Great point.
So tell me more about your millennial weddings and this. I'm always about hot topics and what's changing. And, I love that you're so lucky and you don't even get it, Dave, because weddings when you were 14 were so terrible, aka 10 years ago. And it's one of them things where 7 out of 10 weddings that we did 10 years ago, 70% of the playlist was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And that's not the case anymore.
No.
And I love that people are doing things their way, how they want, and not what's so traditional anymore. And it's just this new age of weddings in the past couple years is just changing the game. And, I love that it's not so typical and it's so original now. And I'm just curious on, like, what you're seeing that you like, or what's different, or what you're doing with these more millennial weddings that, maybe are different from the ones you started your business doing this a couple years ago with some of the older ones that you did.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a progression of all of the traditional things going away. And until this point this year, like, almost non-existent at all. Like, for example, I remember having to learn 4 or 5 years ago how to host the garter removal, and the garter, after the garter, like the whole situation, which was so awkward and weird. And there were different caveats. You had to check with people to make sure they weren't uncomfortable. It's all gone. I haven't had I don't think I'll ever have one again.
I disagree.
Right?
I bet you
really?
do. In the last, we'll say 5 years, I might have done it 5 times, and that's probably a high number.
Okay.
This year alone, I just recently did one. I think it was in May.
Really?
And I was like, and like, I probably shouldn't say this like on record, but I don't care. Like when it's on there in the paperwork in the final meeting, and I'm like, cool. And then like we get to the day and like we talk about it, it's cool, it's in the timeline. And then like when they're like, how do I put this? I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to do my thing. And I'm like, okay, like, so I'm really debating on if I want to put this on here or not, but I'm really like, so do you still want to do the garter? Like I almost ask it like a question where I'm like, it's totally cool if we don't. And and there's so many variables to it. So wait, let's just talk about this exact one before. As far as like cringeworthy, this particular thing, cool, we do it at this wedding I did in May, and a 15-year-old girl catches the garter.
Oh my gosh.
So
the bouquet.
Excuse me, the bouquet. Thank you. The bouquet. So now we're like, all right, now it's going to be creepy Uncle Johnny that catches the garter. And like, so now we do it again, have another girl do it. But it's just, for me, it's something that I think that should be left in the 80s and 90s, if you will. Yeah. And it's like, the fact that you said you'll never do another one, I hope for your sake that you don't. And again, I hope we don't.
Bouquet toss is still okay.
Fair.
I like when you toss the bouquet and whoever catches it just gets to keep it.
And that's it.
Yeah, they get to keep it. That's it.
But we're missing the biggest factor here. And, it goes back to the silent cake cutting that's super popular now today, which I love.
Yep.
But like, once intros, formalities, speeches are done, I love to just be done with the, all eyes on you for the couple, telling the guys that they can take the jacket off and the hard stuff's over.
Yep.
And if we're going to do cake cutting announced and or the garden bouquet, it has to be done after dinner before we open up the dance floor.
Agreed.
Because going back to the number one reason I hate the garden bouquet is I hate to have a vibe to clear the dance floor, to do this 3-minute skit that's just so like outplayed and outdated.
Agreed.
And again, going back to even the bouquet toss, like I hate it to clear the dance floor to do that. But if you're doing it right after dinner and you're asking 40 women to get on the dance floor to catch the bouquet, and then you open up the dance floor, you got 40 women on the dance floor to start it. So
it could be used as a nice way to get people out there.
There can be a positive in it, but like anything past that is just cringe.
No, yeah. In general, cake cutting can be right after dinner, and I love to invite everyone out to the dance floor to watch the cake cutting if it's not silent.
Right.
And then you have them on the dance floor, and I like to have that 2 hours of straight dancing. I have a flow. I can lock in. I'm mixing. There's no other formalities that I have to be worried about. I have to MC.
Nothing has to kill the vibe at this point.
Yes, exactly. At this point, it is you start with your entire family on the dance floor. You've got some of the oldies for them, and then you get closer and closer into the vibe of the couple, into the vibe. Hopefully, if we got some younger people out there, they stay till the end of the night, and they have a great time.
Do you have 2 or 3 songs that are in your repertoire that you like? I don't want to say play at every wedding, but like I would say favorite songs to play at wedding, or any that like stand out. And like, go ahead.
It's interesting because it depends. It depends on the kind of wedding. Like I love when a wedding turns into a club or turns into a party bar, So the first song that comes to mind, of course, is No Hands. Like when that song is playing, that song...
I hate you. Go ahead. I'm literally going to bring up No Hands.
You're gonna bring up No Hands. I
swear
can
on
bring up
everything.
another one.
No, you're good. You're good.
I mean, I can bring up another one. Anything like Pitbull as well. Like once we get into Pitbull, once we get into throwbacks, 2000s.
But see,
danceable tracks.
No Hands and Pitbull are so opposite to me because here's the thing. You can play Pitbull at a 65th birthday party because Pitbull is Michael Jackson in so many ways
Okay.
Pitbull is going to be played in 30 years
Yeah.
like Billie Jean still gets played at things, if you will.
Yeah.
But No Hands, it's funny that you use that song of the millions of songs in the world because No Hands, and you can ask anyone on my staff this, I joke and say, if we can't play No Hands at a wedding, it's not going to be a hype wedding, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's one of the most high energy 2010s throwback, if you will, that just ignites dance floors, if you will. And Pitbull, I mean, Pitbull's popular at weddings, don't get me wrong, but it's like something that I feel like is Pitbull going to be not a sweet carol, like a We Are Family in 30 years? Like it's very well. Pitbull has a couple songs that will easily that'll be played at weddings in 30 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hate that I'm going to say this. When you're my age, you're going to be having consults saying, you know, we're not going to be playing Time of Our Lives by Pitbull or Fireball at your wedding kind of thing. And like, I sadly believe that that's going to be truthful.
Fireball I can get away with, to be honest, but like Give Me Everything is such a good song because it has a nice sing-along build up and then there's a good beat drop on it. So like Give Me Everything is I
call that the DJ Apex Deluxer right there. Give Me Everything tonight. It's his jam.
Good.
I'm trying to think, like, it's funny that you just said No Hands of all songs because that's like my pure go-to.
Soulja Boy's in that range of No Hands. I play it for a few seconds, basically. Just a few
Gorms
seconds.
was on here the other night and he simply said the same thing. He's like, that's a song that's played in my set almost every wedding. And it's
you
just
you have to know how long or how short to play a song. You also have to know, like, there are a lot of songs, let's say you do play it too short. Why are people getting mad at you for cutting it short? Because they know that there is a part, there's a bridge, there's something later on in the song that they want to hear. For example, Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. Great song, but it is repetitive up until that very last I think it's called The Bridge, where it goes, and I need you in my life for me to stay. And it's like a slow, and if you don't play that, they're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. They don't get it. They're upset. So if you want to mix quick, you have to potentially jump around in a song to give them the parts that they want.
Well, that brings me to my next topic, Mr. Dave Gordon, because quick mixing is a hot topic sometimes with couples. And this goes back to something that, again, I don't think is talked about enough, where 10 plus years ago, there was a massive difference from club DJs to wedding DJs.
Yeah.
And the game has changed drastically in the wedding business because 10 years ago, I don't think DJs were mixing as much as weddings as they are now. And I also don't know if it's that a good portion of the 20 and 30-year-olds 10 years ago that got out of the club scene, that got into the wedding scene, are all past club DJs that transitioned into weddings. But I definitely think there's way more mixing now at weddings than there was 10 years ago, for starters. But the quick mixing is something I'm getting asked more about, and it's a love-hate thing. I think there's some people that hate it, and it comes back to exactly what you just said, where their favorite song, their favorite part of a song isn't getting played. Something just popped in my head, and I'll give you a perfect example. Justin Bieber, Baby.
Yep.
One of my favorites.
Yep.
Love this song.
Great example.
You got to play Ludacris. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And it's the last verse of the song. So it's like, and if you're, I won't even say quick mixing, but like you can't play two verses of that song and then cut it. Like if you're playing a hook or something and getting out of it, fine. But you can't play two verses and cut off Ludacris, because I will lose my shit with my own DJ if he does that at a wedding.
I think I have the best spot to start that song. I've been doing it for years. It's literally like 2.5 minutes into the song.
Right.
It goes, And I just can't believe my first love of being around. And it'll do the chorus, and then the Luda part comes on,
Right.
and then the chorus one more time,
And then you're out.
and you're out.
Right.
Boom.
Makes sense.
Perfect.
That
It's
makes
perfect.
sense.
That's like a great example of you. Yeah, everyone knows Baby, but do you know not to play 4 minutes of it?
Right, fair.
You shouldn't.
No, it makes sense. But this goes back to we're finally getting, I don't want to say finally, but we're definitely getting more people asking us about, does your DJ do quick mixing?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and this is where it's definitely a millennial thing where, and let's be honest, well, I have ADHD, but everybody in 2025 don't have time for that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're already over it and they're ready for the next one. And, you know, you're the king of 3 songs in a minute kind of thing.
Yep,
So,
yep.
you know, you like doing that stuff. So I definitely think that's growing, and it's you're only going to see it more as this millennial group starts to get married more. What is I keep saying millennial, but like what, Keith, here's some more numbers. What year you got to be for that?
Oh, I don't know anything
That's what I'm saying.
about those numbers.
I
don't
just
even know
know
what I am.
I just
Am I
know.
a millennial?
Yeah,
I'm a millennial.
100%.
Okay,
Well,
great.
yeah, I think you are. I'm saying like
I mean, I'm
20.
not a boomer. I
20
can tell you that.
at least
for
I'm not a
sure.
boomer.
My father's a boomer.
Oh, darn.
All right, so here we go. Millennial, generally born between 1981 and 1996.
What?
So that
That's what it says.
No way.
That's what it says.
It's you're 100%
So I'm
wrong.
Gen Z, right?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not a millennial, and you just told me 81, 96.
If you were born in 81, you're an older millennial. If you were born in 96, you're a younger millennial. Is your world collapsing right now?
There's no way I'm a millennial.
I'm just
See,
telling
none
you.
of
What-
us know the.
what-
This doesn't even
24.
matter.
Oh my God, you're not even born in the 19.
Millennial
No.
sometimes overlaps with Gen Z.
01?
01.
01.
01.
What? We might cut this whole thing. I'm telling you, you're wrong. There's no way I'm a millennial. I'm like 100% positive on that much. Look it up again. We're probably cutting this whole part.
All right, so the first thing I looked was ChatGPT. That gave me what you said was wrong.
I would've
Now
went
I'm
to
just
Google,
looking
but-
on straight Google. Millennials, also known as Generation Y, are generally defined as those born between 1981 and 1996. You're a millennial, bro. Podcast, they bring out realizations.
There's no way.
Wow. So
What-
I am.
what
So I'm
is he?
Gen Z, right?
He's
Yeah,
Gen Z?
He'd have to be if you're born after that. When were you born?
Why do we keep...
01.
Yeah. Yeah, because my daughter's 05, so she's a Gen Z as well.
Hey.
Shout out to Brooke. We should hook you
Shout
up with
out.
Brooke. She got a boyfriend? Yeah. Shout out to Brooke's boyfriend, too. Sorry, guy. So here's a perfect example. We've been going live on TikTok on Thursday afternoons.
Okay.
And essentially the, reason behind it is that we're trying to get our TikTok up because we think all these, let's go back to COVID when, everyone started getting on TikTok more and TikTok got big. I think everyone that was 19, 18 at COVID, who's now 25, 26, give or take, are now in that age group of people starting to get married. And it's only going to grow even more as far as that age demographics of what their platform preference is. So I wanted to get ahead of the curve and, start putting more time and effort into that. And, essentially you are the king of TikTok as far as, who I associate with, I'll say. So tell me more about what you're doing with that. And, I also think you're getting a good amount of leads from TikTok, which we definitely are not. So that's a perfect example of a conversation.
Yeah, TikTok has changed everything for me. It has been for like a year now the place that I will send people if I want to showcase my DJ content. I have my TikTok as a personal account, not as my company. There are pros and cons to that. The good thing,
The business does have one, or it's
my business does not have one
at all?
No,
Okay.
at all.
So it's straight.
It is straight
Hayward.
me. Now that's good and bad because like my business is still on there. If you want to inquire, you do reach my business, and I've had situations where they reach me and I'm not available, but they sort of already trust me a little bit, or they trust the company, or whatever email communications they're getting, they feel good about it, and they'll book someone else from my team. But it all stems back to just me like getting in front of the camera. That's the most important thing in my opinion. Like there are so many DJ pages, DJs posting videos, posting clips, and the majority of the things I see is a reel of clips of their party. Yeah, people are dancing and whatnot, but it's like to a background music song, like there's just like a beat playing, and it's cut of dancing, and those videos just don't do well. They don't.
They don't get a real grasp of what they're getting from the DJ.
It doesn't. No, it does. It's not even really talking about the DJ. Like, yeah, you have a dance floor dancing, but how do we know if there's a band back there? How do we know if there's a DJ? I want to know what he's playing. Like, that's the whole point of this new age of content. I think is it doesn't have to be crazy editing. People would rather you
Raw.
film on their phone, on your phone, put a caption up, and obviously if what you're looking at, if it's cool, then that's what's going to do well. So I love having my assistants film me and then film the crowd, and then film me and film the crowd. And that's proven. I'm nowhere on TikTok. I mean, I'm doing okay on TikTok, but there's other DJs way bigger, and honestly, there is no shame in following suit. Now, don't completely copy, but follow the format that they use, and there are people following my format now too. There are over and over. I'm really starting to see 3 songs in 1 minute. A lot pop up, and I think I created that like little caption thing, but I guess I can segue TikTok wise back into weddings, because I started getting inquiries for weddings, and most importantly, this is the kicker here, the inquiries that I'm getting, a lot of them are from the exact venues that I have tagged in my videos. So you can put a location, right? I can't say this for certain, but I'm pretty sure if I was booking my wedding right now and I just booked my venue and now I have my vendors to book, I am going to look up that venue. On Instagram, I'm going to press the tagged in, on their profile. I'm going to see who's tagged. If I happen to stumble upon a DJ DJing at that venue, he's already there. There's a video of him. There's a packed dance floor. I'm going to inquire with him. He's already been. You don't even have to answer that dreaded question. Oh, have you been here, by the way? Sometimes it's a no, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't been here. But if you have a video of you there, it's great. And, that's just one of the trends. I think people are looking up their venues and, seeing where that leads them.
Makes sense. I definitely think that being at a venue prior to, let me say that, being able to tell the couple that you've already done a wedding there is already like
it's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love talking about preferred vendor lists, but that's something I tell people all the time. If, we're from the list and that's how we're having a conversation, like telling couples that we know the staff by name and we know where to set up for the ceremony and we know where every outlet is that we need. Like all of these things just make everything simpler. And I'm probably going to use this phrase in every pod at some point, but peace of mind morning of the wedding for them is everything.
Yeah. Agreed. It's all those little things that help you in that sales process. Oh, we've been there. Oh, we know the staff. Like if you name the coordinator's name or something like that, like that connection, it helps you all the more. And I do think most importantly though, even above preferred vendors is content. Like if you are booking your DJ and you have not seen one video or one like quality video, I don't know. I guess everyone has different opinions on what quality is, but like if you're booking a DJ absolutely blind, which happens, which
sure
just
does.
regularly happens. Oh,
it's funny because I'm changing my point of view, because for the longest time we didn't have a lot of videos or content, and it's just the game is changing, the world is changing, how, people do their homework and, book stuff. But this was another reason why we started doing the TikTok lives, because now we're recording the sets too. So
Amazing.
being able to go watch, and I mean, the set is predominantly open format, but I mean, I tell them that like we're doing this for brides to be able to watch your stuff. So it is somewhat wedding based. Is it a lot of 2000s and hip hop and, high energy EDM stuff? Sure. But I mean, they're also throwing in some, Motown stuff in the beginning of the set, just like they would in a regular wedding, just to get the kind of feel. But I would think a year ago, I might not necessarily 100% agree with you, but we just had another pod the other night, and we had DJ Gorms on, and Gorms was saying the same thing about you have to be able to watch or see them at some aspect before booking in 2025, and this is why we're really starting to put a priority on creating and saving these videos and whatnot.
Agreed. I encourage the YouTube vlog style too. Get all of the DJs.
Shout out to DJ St. James, all over that now with his new vlog. He loves this stuff. But I mean, again, it's massive. He bought a 360 camera. He lets the stuff run for a 2-hour set. He just does his stuff. But I definitely think that, and again, let's go 5 years ago. Okay. 5 years ago, they're always like, well, where can we see your DJ?
Yeah.
And most of our guys don't do the bars anymore, so they're not going to go see them at a bar.
Yep.
And we're obviously never inviting them to come to a
Correct.
private event or another
Correct.
wedding to see them at. So, like, what are their
I've
options?
had people ask, can we come to your wedding this weekend?
And
Like,
I've
what
had
are
people
you
ask too, and I'm
talking
like,
about?
would you let me bring strangers to your wedding? Like, it's just very, again,
to take
cringe.
notes to like
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
literally.
Keith, you ready for some Spitfire quick questions? This is our portion of the pod.
You have to use the mic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where's your mic, guy? Rookie.
I don't have a button on it, so I keep got it. Test? All right. I might be a little hot coming in. But,
What's the question?
well, I have a couple of ideas. Hot Topics was, and then we say Hot Topics was Gorm's.
Hot topics.
Yeah, which I kind of like.
Do you know the reference
doesn't
of what
work.
that's from?
Um,
Come on.
He's a Gen
Hot
Z.
I
Pocket,
know.
Hot Pocket, or Hot, or
Yeah,
Polly
you
Pocket, or
got it,
something.
you got it, you
Hot
got
Pocket,
it.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work.
Did you say Polly Pockets? How
It's
the hell do you know what a
Hot
Polly
Pocket,
How
I
do you know
know.
what a Polly Pocket is?
Dude, I feel like I know. I'm in this weird.
You
like,
you are an old
I
soul.
still,
You're an
I,
old
s- I
soul.
remember playing with intensely playing with tape players back when I was like 5 years old. Like they were long gone, but like I was like I know some
I'm
things.
so old.
So
Go ahead.
it won't work for this, but I feel like this is a good name for something down the line. Bride or Die. I don't know how we can work that in, but I like that. Cake it or leave it. All right, these are getting bad. How about this is
What's the
wed,
question?
lock, and load. I don't know. We're
what-
trying to come up with a. We can talk about whatever we want. Okay.
I'm confused. What are you asking us?
Oh, I'm just telling you possible names for this segment.
Oh,
Instead
okay.
of Spitfire doesn't sound like. Got
Spitfire?
me?
Okay.
Wedding, lock, and load. You see what I'm saying?
Wedding,
Something like-
lock, and load.
I don't know. We're throwing it out there.
I'm trying to figure out what's the mic drop. That's what I want to call it. But like something to like.
I feel like the mic drop should be your final thing. That's what we talked about before. But
Yeah, but it's got to be like it's got to be something, like good, or I don't know how to explain it.
All right, you guys want some things? All right, here we go. I'm going to throw some out there, and obviously, if you don't like them, we'll talk about something else.
Sure.
It might be something you guys just don't want to talk about. How about is this too much? DJs versus live bands? Is that too in the like?
I mean, this is an easy conversation for me to talk about. I mean, I have a decent amount of experience, but one thing I hate about doing this podcast is that
You don't want to talk crap on
yeah,
all
that's
your
it's
friends.
like
all the
literally
people
that's
in the-
that's so
I
what it
know,
is.
I
Like
know.
it's
I
like
skipped a couple things in my mind.
there's so
but-
many things like here's the thing, and it's just for me it's cut and dry. For a good wedding band, I think you're spending a minimum of $10,000-$12,000.
Yeah.
For $10,000-$12,000, you can get DJ photo and video with us, give or take, in them numbers. So it's really, if you have a $100,000 wedding budget, then I also do think more high-end weddings do have bands because they have more money for it.
Yeah.
But as far as for me personally, when me and my fiance got together, we went to 2 weddings in the first couple years of being together, and they were both live bands. And at the time, I don't go to a lot of weddings as a guest. So I was like so excited to go to
See
these
some
weddings.
DJs.
Right. And I was so excited. I'm like, I love to be on the other side. Like, I want to see, who's going to be the DJ. And they were both live bands. And to be honest with you, this is the perfect example of like what stands out. Don't know the name of either band. They were okay. They didn't suck, but they weren't awesome.
Yeah.
And like, it just wasn't the same for me. And there's little things like, I picture the opportunity of, yes, they can play multiple genres and it's 2025 and they can play everything under the sun. But if we're talking about playing older music to appease the older guest, I want Frank Sinatra to be playing Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
I don't want this band
Yeah.
that, whatnot. And to be able to go from, I don't know, when you're in an open dance set, to be able to mix in Tipsy to, and I don't mean mixing these songs back to back, but I mean to go from Tipsy.
Play that song live.
Right.
in a
Well,
band.
Tipsy's a great example.
Try
'Cause
playing No Hands live. Like,
let's bring No
what-
Hands
like,
back into this. Yes.
What
like,
are you doing?
Right. Like, and to
Actually,
be able
I'd love to see that. Someone sent that to us.
I mean, I bet it's happened. But
Yeah, it definitely.
I love to use the expression of we like to bounce around and, hit a bunch of demographics. And again, not mixing these 3 exact songs together,
Yeah.
but like going from a Tipsy or a Ja Rule to a Mr. Brightside to a Pursuit of Happiness is a roller coaster of emotions in different genres, but all high energy to keep people going.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think bands do that. And they also take breaks. Some have a DJ
Yeah.
with them
Yeah.
that play in between their band
Yeah.
sets. But I mean, again, is the DJ awesome? And realistically, I can't see them having a good DJ because if it was a good DJ, they probably wouldn't be working with the band, right? You know what I mean? Like,
So it's 2025, and we have the perfect solution to band versus DJ.
I like where you're going.
And the answer is DJ
Fusion. Hell yeah.
Hell
Hell
yeah, all day long. Have your DJ play the music that you want to hear exactly how you want to hear it, but you want that live element, you want that extra oomph, you want that, like, yeah, we know the bands are for high-end weddings. You want to tap into that a little bit? Get yourself a saxophonist.
I can't believe
Get
I
a
didn't.
violinist, percussionist. Those are my top 3. Percussionist, violinist, saxophonist. And if they're good, they will let you do your thing completely, and they will just join in perfectly and elegantly. I don't know what the way to say it is. It's great.
I can't believe that you were the one that went to this and not me because it was the perfect scenario for me to go here. But I quote this at every consult now because someone left us a review and I think it's awesome. But someone said, and I quote, "We loved having the sax edition, loved having a circle around him on the dance floor,
Yeah.
and I never thought the DJ would be playing, I never thought the sax guy would be playing alongside the DJ to Earth, Wind, and Fire and Lil Wayne." And I tell everybody that because it doesn't matter what the, genre is at the time that he can play alongside it.
They'll
And that's
play
such
along.
a great example. I definitely think. Now, here's a question. Would you say that bands are losing an edge in 2025 because of that? Because you hit the nail on the head. I think it's super important. I think it's super valuable to say adding the DJ fusion is a mix of both worlds.
I might be wrong, but I think year over year for the last many years, bands have declined in weddings. And it's really only the high-end weddings. I did have a band recently as a wedding guest, but this was a $150,000
Right.
wedding,
Which is
crystal tea room with freaking ice sculptures and
Right.
everything, like the tippy top of the top.
When budget isn't an issue.
Yeah, correct.
When there
correct.
not a budget.
Yeah, when they really want to, like, to some people, the DJ just feels like the guy that's pushing play, but maybe they haven't seen a freaking good DJ yet.
And don't get me wrong, like there's some bands that, and again, like I never want to like talk negative, but like there's some bands that like I love bands
Yeah.
at a bar
Yeah.
or down the shore in the summer.
Yep.
And like there's some bands that like I legitimately get excited to see when I'm out. And these particular bands, I feel like occasionally do weddings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the occasional weddings they do, I would be pumped if I saw them there.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the predominantly
Wedding
only
band.
bands.
Yeah.
Most of them don't do it for me.
Yeah.
And like some of them have 12 pieces and it's cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's an older vibe. I don't know if it's, like you said, they're never playing No Hands or Tipsy, but it's
Maybe they
just,
are. We don't know.
I don't know.
They're gonna be in the comments like, yes, we do.
this is where, so, on the very first episode that me and Keith did together, one of the first things I said was, this is going to be raw and we're going to talk about it all. And I'm definitely going to get some haters
Yeah.
and some hate mail from
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but I'm just going to spit
Encourage it.
pure facts and my opinions
Give
on
us
things.
the hate. We'll debate you.
Right.
We'll-
Like it's
we'll-
just
we'll
one of
be
them
right
things.
there in the comments.
Yeah. It's just, I definitely think this was a really good one. Keith, go ahead.
All right.
I can't believe I didn't think of
I'm gonna
the
start
segue
Max,
into DJ Fusion. That was so great.
I'm going to
considering
start
we
Max
do that.
Kellerman and you guys like around the horn. I
love it.
You guys went too long. No, but this is the thing. This is work in progress. So these are things that we could do every weekend. Maybe we'll let them go longer. Originally, I'd envisioned like 20, 30 seconds you get out, but that was a good topic.
jeez.
I know. You guys,
Well, realistically, when we cut this, maybe this is more in the earlier, and you're not. This ain't a
well, the
hot
whole
take.
podcast is going to, when it goes up, is going to have all that, which I think was good. You
Right,
guys-
right,
well,
right.
Most of it, obviously, if there's some cuts. Well, here's a good one. What do you think? Live streaming the ceremony, smart or soulless?
That's a good question. I would say from a DJ's perspective or the AV person's perspective, if you're going to live stream it, I want you to do it absolutely correctly. I want you to make sure that you have perfect internet at that venue. I want you to make sure that the officiant and the bride and the groom are mic'd up and are directly feeding into the live stream. I would not live stream it just from my iPhone with nothing, nothing there. If there are people that can't make it, and that's how they're going to
I'm
watch
so
the
glad we're
ceremony.
past COVID because that was such a
Well, that
thing.
was a serious.
That was
yeah,
such
that was
a thing
needed
back in the day.
then. It's not really needed anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
If anything, I would say record it on a nice camera. Make sure you get the audio and just send it to them. Why do they have to see it that exact moment?
Yeah, I don't like it. Next,
You didn't like the question?
yeah,
Okay. Getting married on a weekday, cheap, or and inconsiderate, or is it okay? Is that
are we asking as a trend? Or are we asking as event group owners that love
Yeah.
money on Thursdays?
I'll take it on a Thursday.
Yes, please. I hope this becomes a massive trend. I hope everybody starts getting married
I
on
like
Thursday.
Thursdays because everyone will take off of work on Friday, which gives them like a 3-4 day weekend.
Now this is the crazy part because I agree with you, but it's funny because you would think that you'd want to do a Sunday wedding over a Thursday wedding, but I'd actually probably rather have a
No.
Thursday wedding
No.
because
No.
Sunday weddings are typically earlier,
Yeah.
and
And
no
some
one's
people are still going to go to work.
no one's calling out on Monday hypothetically.
Yeah.
But if it's a Thursday wedding, 90% of them are calling out
call
on
out on
Friday, and they're
Friday.
planning ahead of
Yeah.
time. I
Have
agree
a great
100%.
weekend, kick it off.
I have
wedding.
one Thursday that I'm doing personally with Apex. I want to say next month.
Okay.
And I'm excited for it for exactly that aspect of
Yeah.
it. Like it's not on the weekend, and me personally, like I get to do a wedding, and I'm off on Friday and Saturday, so that's
Right.
awesome.
There you go.
But I definitely think Thursdays over Sundays is the move, and I never thought I would
Would
say
I
that.
do it though? It's like if it's my wedding, I obviously Saturday
How-
night sounds lovely.
This comes back to, not to cut you off, this comes back to like you don't know the numbers of everything, if you
Right,
will.
right.
But like, how much are they saving? Like, are they saving 25%? Are they saving 10%? And is 10% the difference of doing it on Thursday versus Friday or Saturday? 7-8 years ago, it was probably cheaper to get married on a Friday than it was at Saturday.
Yeah, it's
my
not
prices
anymore.
aren't.
It's
My
the
prices
same,
are the same whether it's Friday or Saturday.
I honestly would probably charge the same for Thursday too. Like the venue may have a better rate for you. I'm sure it's the venue that has the better rate.
I do slight discounts for Thursdays.
Maybe a slight.
Not crazy.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just one of them things where I wouldn't be surprised if that's a growing trend. And realistically, I pray it is.
I mean, I'll take it. Give me another day of the week to work. I'll
Right.
take it. Yeah.
Right. And especially for yourself,
Yeah.
you know, as the face of Accent,
Yep.
you personally have one more day of the week that
Yeah,
you can book
yeah.
yourself as
Agreed.
not someone else on your
Agreed.
staff.
I do have a Thursday event this week.
Keith,
One
one more.
more. All right. Garbage plates. You might say, nice catch.
I didn't get it.
Garbage plates. How do you feel about them? You know, that's like the food at the end. It's basically supposed to like suck up some of the alcohol. I think. You know, they got the pretzels and things.
Oh, like
that.
late night eats.
It's
Yes.
called garbage.
I
They
would
plates?
call it in
never-
New York. They call it garbage
No.
plates.
I've never heard it say garbage
Well,
plates.
let's
ever.
call it what it is. The late night
Yeah.
food fest, whatever. Is it garbage, gross, or is it is it a kind of a must have?
Go ahead.
I think it's great. I love it.
I
I
love
love
it.
it. I love it. I love it. I think it also depends on when the wedding ends. Like if the wedding ends at 10, that it's like slightly a little early. Like I feel like you could just go home at 10. If the wedding ends at 11, yeah, like put that food out at 10 o'clock. Your dinner was at like 7, right? Put that food out at 10 o'clock and
I rarely eat at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
I love to get a little bit of that appetizers
Yep.
during cocktail.
Yep.
And let's be blunt, if it's a steak, I'm eating it. If it's a
Right.
chicken, I might take a bite or two.
Yep.
But I love when I see Philly cheesesteaks and pretzels
Yeah.
at 11:30 at
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
because
I've seen
realistically,
Burger King.
you've seen Burger
I've
King
seen Burger
at a wedding?
King. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's laying a lot
Absolutely.
of groundwork for the
Yeah,
garbage
yeah.
thing being real.
You
my
can
God.
you can call your McDonald's a couple days in advance and say I need 100 burgers and send someone to pick them up. Absolutely. Taco Bell I've seen on TikTok before.
Shout out to Gorms. I need a quarter pounder. It's such a. We had someone do like an Uber Eats for like a bunch of kids.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I see this guy walk in with a bunch of like McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
This had nothing to do with like a
Uh-huh.
late night thing.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of funny. But I also love. This is actually probably the best of all. I love when a food truck's outside. On the
Oh,
way
that's
out.
cool. Yeah,
That's definitely
that's
cool.
nice.
And like different things like tacos or Steve
Mm-hmm.
Steaks or something like that. Like that's definitely cool.
Yeah. Approved on Garbage Eats or whatever
Garbage
you called
Eats.
it.
I've never heard it called
Approved.
that though. Dave, one of our last things I want to say or ask you is there anything that's trending that you hate or that you hope to see as a fad that's, soon to be leaving? There's so many little things that, are huge for a year and then it disappears. We talked about this before we got on, but like we talked about the other night about The Last Dance as a perfect example, and that was a thing for a little bit. We also mentioned the photo dash where everyone's like rushing
Yep,
to do that.
yep.
Like there are two things that I'm like so glad are, on their way out, if
Yeah,
you will.
yeah.
Anything else that comes to mind?
I just had a photo dash like a week ago. I don't necessarily mind it. It's nice for the couple to get their photo with everyone. Would you do a group photo instead? One big group photo? I haven't seen a lot of those recently, honestly.
Same for the most part. To be honest with you, I don't know why I hate the photo dash.
Mm-hmm.
It's normally 3 minutes in the middle of
Yeah.
dinner. It's nothing
Yeah.
crazy, but like it's just, I think it's a ton of commotion quickly that
It
just
is,
doesn't.
yeah.
Or if it's more that I'm emceeing, I hate that I'm like, okay, table 1. Okay, everyone's rushing to table 2, and everyone make sure that you're there because don't go to the bar because your table is up to get a picture. Like I don't know why I'm just such an anti photo dasher.
I usually just give all the instructions right off the bat, and then
And
I
then
send
just let
them
'em do
on
their
their way.
thing.
And most importantly, because I had a photographer recently that was under the impression that we would invite every table to the center of the dance floor while the couple waits out there for each table. That is a horrible way of doing it. That's going to take way longer than the table staying where they are and the bride and groom running around with the photographer. It's the bride and groom that are doing the dashing. I tell the table that if you are on one side of the round table, get yourself to the other side so there can be one picture straight on. And then it's the bride and groom and the photographer, 3 people moving, like really moving, rather than center of the dance floor, everyone comes out.
Fair. I'm going to switch it on you now. Mm-hmm. I think we might start asking this to everybody.
Okay.
We're going to go back to the line dance conversation.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So just to reiterate,
Yep.
we were talking, what is a line dance, and is it simply just the 5?
Yeah.
Cupid Shuffle, the Wobble,
Yep.
the Cotton Eye Joe, the Electric Slide, and the Cha-Cha Slide.
So I didn't even put Electric Slide on.
Well, that's
my
because you're
list.
24 and I'm 40.
Yeah,
but
Electric Slide is actually, to be honest with you, never playing it ever.
You've never
again.
played it?
I've played it only when requested, and it's been requested twice in like hundreds of events. It doesn't even count. No one knows it. I don't even know the dance. Macarena is the one you missed, I think, in the 5.
But see, this is what brings
But in that
me to my
case, then there's
segment.
only 4.
Okay, but
there's
if you
4.
put the Macarena in, where is the YMCA and where is Hot to Go for today, if you will?
The YMCA is just the chorus. It's not the full song. That's what I think. Maybe that's the answer
word.
that makes or breaks
That's what
it.
makes it a line
Because
dance.
Hot to Go, same thing. HOTTOGO. You have that part. But Cotton Eye Joe, Cupid Shuffle, even
It's the whole
Macarena,
song.
it may be repetitive, but you are doing it the whole time. You're not doing YMCA
whole song.
when they say, "Young man, I don't need to build down." Like,
Please, I can't wait to clip that.
you know, that maybe that's the answer to what is a line dance. Again, in my opinion, though, there's like 4 or 5, and that's it. And there will never be.
I want to quote
more.
you.
That too. There will never be another line dance.
No joke.
It's
2010.
TikTok dances now.
2010. I was convinced I was making the next one.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh,
all
you
about
were
it.
making the
yeah,
next
and
one.
now I'm like
Okay.
cringing, but it's just funny.
Yeah. It's just TikTok dances now that don't last 3 minutes. You know.
So, Soldier Boy, and what was the other one? Teach Me How to Dougie.
Uh-huh.
Because they are not the entire song.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying is the difference.
Yeah.
Keith,
I think
how
that's
can we do this?
I got a great one real quick.
What, the fucking Fly?
Is Thriller a line dance?
no. I don't even know the dance to Thriller. You mean
Thriller's the whole song.
Watch the video. They're dancing.
Thriller's the whole song. Bro,
There's a whole
is this
dance.
fucking Fly going to be in my whole shot?
He's part of the podcast now.
you're good?
What are you going to do? Sometimes you have unwanted guests. That's all I got for you.
Well, listen, Dave, appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you being part of the mix behind the mic.
Sir, yes,
and,
sir.
we'll have to get you back on soon. Maybe our next season as not a kid, not a baby,
I
as
know.
a seasoned pro next time we have you come
Wow.
back on. Sir,
Wow.
appreciate
It'll be a
it.
pleasure. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Appreciate you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.